Hello, Jan Roberts from Key Leadership Institute. Today, I want to elaborate on this week's theme. I do it every day, every week, but this week the theme is about how leaders are struggling to communicate effectively. And I did a post on Monday, and on Tuesday I provided a free PDF on this with 3 reasons why leaders struggle to communicate effectively and how this can be resolved. Now, if you haven't got a PDF, just put a message below there and that you want it, and I'll still send it to you, no problem. But I just want to elaborate a little bit on the 3 points I mentioned in that PDF. And the first one was lack of clarity. So this can really hinder effective communication tremendously, because when a leader's message is unclear, employees may misunderstand what's expected of them. This can lead to confusion and mistakes, as employees may not know what they should be focusing on or how to prioritize their tasks. Then also, a lack of clarity can lead to inefficiencies in the organizations. For example, if an employee is not clear about the goals or objectives of a project, then they may spend time and resources on tasks that are certainly not aligned with the overall goal. And the third one is when employees feel uncertain about what is expected of them or don't have a clear sense of direction, it can lead to low morale and disengagement. And this can certainly impact productivity and overall performance. Now, to resolve this leader's lack of clarity, there are a few very simple steps that can be taken. First one is keep the message simple. See, in this, whether it's online or in a physical meeting, we now have so many different cultures in our teams and organizations that we also need to realize that English or whatever languages will be spoken there is not the first one for many people. So leaders should strive to communicate in simple, clear language that it is easy for everyone to understand. See, avoid using jargon and technical terms that may be familiar with some, but not with others in the organization. And of course, those jargons and technical terms are meeting specific, of course, for different teams. But also provide context. See, when communicating a message, leaders should provide context to help employees actually understand how their work fits into the bigger picture. This can really help clarify goals and objectives, and of course increase engagement from everyone concerned. And the other one I want to mention is to be consistent. Now, leaders should strive to be consistent in their messaging so employees know what to expect and can anticipate how their work fits into that bigger picture I mentioned. See, by taking these simple steps, leaders can ensure that their message is clear and that employees have an equally clear sense of direction. And this can, of course, definitely improve engagement, productivity, and overall performance of the organization. Then the second point I mentioned, which is a favorite of mine anyway, is the lack of listening. See, and this can be detrimental to an organization in many ways. And I'll give you a few things here to think about. See, because when leaders fail to actively listen to their employees, they may misunderstand their concerns or needs, which can lead to miscommunication, confusion, and certainly costly delays. Also, when employees feel that their voices are never being heard, they may disengage or be disenchanted with their work, and this can lead to low morale, low productivity, and of course, high turnover. Now, when leaders fail to listen to feedback from their employees, as a third one, they may miss out on valuable insights and ideas that could lead to innovation and improved processes. See, we also talk about having an open door policy, when quite often the door is the only thing that's open. But inside, people don't want to go there because they fear that if they say something that might be construed as negative, it will be held against them. And people don't listen anyway. So listening is very important, even in an open door policy. Now, to resolve those lack of listening skills, there is some of the steps that can be taken. The first one is to be present. It's a coaching term, be fully present anyway, but leaders should strive to be fully present and engaged when listening to employees. And that means that avoid distractions such as cell phones, emails, and other calls that might be coming in, people knocking on the door. And so they can actively listen to what is being said. Now, the other one that is part of this is ask questions, not just any questions, but they should ask open-ended questions, because that encourages employees to share their thoughts and ideas. This can help to clarify their concerns and show that their input is valued. Now, that's why we often do coaching workshops for leaders, managers, and business owners, not for them to make them coaches, but to allow them to have coaching conversations. And that is all about listening better, and so we can ask better open-ended questions, which is the 2 points I just mentioned. I'll give you one more, and that is reflect on feedback. Now, after receiving feedback, if you are lucky enough to get it from these employees, leaders should take time to reflect on what was said and consider how it can be used to improve the entire organization or even a simple department change. So by taking these steps, leaders can improve their listening skills and create a more positive work environment. Now, this can lead to increased employee engagement, increased innovation, increased trust, and better decision-making, which will allow for more effective leadership. And the third one, which is also part of this whole picture, is a lack of empathy. Now, leaders can be very busy people, but a lack of empathy can be detrimental to an organization in several ways, and I'm going to mention a few here. See, when leaders are not empathetic towards their employees, it can create a negative work environment and lead to low morale. Now, this can certainly result in decreased productivity, high turnover, and a negative impact on the overall work culture. Another one is when employees actually feel that their leaders are not empathetic towards them, it can lead to a breakdown in trust. We all do business with those who we know, like, and trust. It's a famous saying, but this can make it difficult for a leader to effectively communicate with their employees, and it can create an environment where employees are less likely to share their thoughts and ideas. You know, that open door policy I mentioned? And then when leaders lack empathy, they may not fully understand the impact of their decisions on their employees. And this can certainly lead to poor decision-making that negatively affects the organization and its employees, of course. And I already mentioned the different cultures, but it needs understanding and empathy. And there's a few steps that I can give you that will help resolve this issue. First of all, leaders should practice active listening, which I've already addressed, and it's obvious. Then the leaders should show appreciation for their employees' contributions and efforts. Now, this can help employees feel valued and respected, and then will be motivated. The third one is leaders should communicate openly and honestly with employees and be transparent about the decisions that affect them. Now, this can help build trust and respect within the organization. See, you hear this trust thing a lot. But leaders should also provide support and resources to their employees, such as continuous training and development opportunities to help them succeed in their roles. But for that, we need to be open and we need to listen to what those training and leadership developments are. But apart from the obvious development, it is important for employees to actually feel that they are valuable enough for their organization to invest in. Now, by taking these steps, and they're all simple, and you can take one at a time, leaders can improve their empathetic skills and create a more positive work environment. And this can lead to an increased employee engagement, improved collaboration, and more trust and respect, and therefore a stronger, more effective organization. See, I know that sometimes leaders are reluctant to make the necessary investment, and I said necessary, as they are concerned that people walk out of the front door and take that investment with them. Now, there is a simple answer to that, because what is better, to invest in people when some of them might leave, or not to invest at all in your people and they will stay? Think about that one. Now, when we facilitate the leadership game with management teams, one of the main areas where leaders struggle is usually communication, and a lack of effective communication in one form or another, which can simply be resolved easily and pretty fast. So I hope that my areas of concerns that I think are important in a leader are being addressed here, that it'll be helpful for you to understand that effective communication is key to your leadership success. So if you want to connect with me, my name is Jan Roberts, co-founder of Key Leadership Institute, founder of JR Speakers Club, and to send me an email if you want to find out how we can add value to your organization by helping you through gamification tool of the leadership game or any other way. And that is jan.roberts, jan.roberts, at keyleadershipinstitute.com, kileadershipinstitute.com. And I will see you in the next video and the next theme. Take care.